Welcome to episode 541 of AI Brief. I'm Amin, and alongside me is Leah.
Hello, everyone.
Today we are looking at a massive geopolitical standoff between Anthropic and the U.S. government. Plus, we've got some new 2026 data revealing a really sharp divide between how much you use AI versus how much you actually trust it.
That data is fascinating.
It is. And finally, a surprising study proving why your specific domain expertise matters way more than your coding skills when you're using AI agents.
There is such a striking contrast in today's news. I mean, while world leaders are debating frontier model safety at the absolute highest levels of government, everyday users are just quietly transforming how their daily work gets done.
And their pessimism about the future keeps growing at the same time.
It's a wild dynamic.
It really is. So let's start with this escalating standoff over export restrictions. If you've been wondering why Anthropic's top models, Mythos and Fable, are still offline, it's all because of this deadlock with the U.S. government.
Which is becoming incredibly public now.
Oh, completely. We just had some major leaks come out. There's a new letter from U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and the language is, it's intense.
Yeah.
He explicitly warns Anthropic against distributing to, quote, foreign persons.
That is a very specific legal phrase to use.
It is. And simultaneously, the Washington Post revealed that the access list for Mythos has ballooned, and it now includes a South Korean firm with suspected Chinese ties.
Oh, wow. Okay. That detail completely shifts the gravity of the dispute.
How so?
Well, when you factor in suspected Chinese ties, it becomes crystal clear why the Commerce Department is acting with such urgency. You have to look at the broader picture here. Dario Amodei, Sam Altman, and Demis Hassabis are currently at the G7 summit in France.
So they're literally meeting with world leaders right now.
Spot on. They are discussing AI regulation on a global stage. So this clearly looks like a foreign relations and access issue rather than just a pure commercial software safety issue. The U.S. government is taking a highly aggressive stance here.
But wait, let me push back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the security concerns, but there's a leaked internal New York Times message where Anthropic employees say they feel, quote, bullied based on bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
That's the quote. It raises the question, is the government asking for the impossible here regarding jailbreaks? Trying to stop an AI model from crossing a border via an API is, well, it's like trying to stop the wind with a chain link fence.
Yeah.
Or is Anthropic just acting completely naive about global security?
I think it's the API aspect that is the real friction point. If you export physical microchip, you can track it. But a digital model accessed over the internet. The U.S. government stance is essentially treating this like a military asset, and the developers are still treating it like a tool to write emails.
That fundamental disagreement makes compromise almost impossible. And honestly, that friction at the highest levels perfectly mirrors the trust issues we are seeing with everyday consumers. Let's pivot to this 2026 Pew Research data.
The survey with over 5,000 U.S. adults.
That's the one. Chatbot use just crossed a major milestone. Half of all adults use them now, and a quarter use them every single day.
Which is hyper-adoption.
It is. But here's the crazy part. Optimism is sliding fast. 40% of people expect AI to make society worse over the next 20 years. Only 16% think it will make things better.
Wait, so people are heavily relying on a tool they fundamentally believe will ruin society.
That is what the data says. And the market share numbers are just as wild. ChatGPT dominates at 44%, which is double its 2023 reach. Gemini holds 24%. And Claude, it sits at just 6%.
That is a fascinating paradox, especially when you look at the under 30 demographic. They lean on AI the hardest for their daily workflows, but they trust it the absolute least. Only 14% of them see a positive societal payoff.
Only 14%.
Yes. And point out the stark irony here. Anthropic is dominating the industry headlines and drawing all this intense government scrutiny, yet they barely register with the average American at a 6% adoption rate.
Which perfectly transitions us to who is actually using Claude. Let's look at Anthropic's new analysis of 400,000 Claude code sessions. Moving from general AI adoption to specific power user dynamics changes everything.
Because the workflows are entirely different.
Completely different. The core finding from this massive study is that a user's domain expertise beats their coding expertise every time.
Oh, that is a huge shift in how we think about tech skills.
Right. The data shows that users handle about 70% of the planning, and Claude does 80% of the execution. Beginners get roughly 5 actions and 600 words per prompt.
Because they don't know what to ask.
Spot on. But experts, They pull 12 actions and 3,200 words.
That connects directly to the verified success rates we've been tracking. Intermediate and above users achieve a 28 to 33% success rate.
Which is huge.
It effectively doubles the 15% rate of novices. But the most mind-bending stat is that lawyers, managers, and scientists with absolutely zero coding titles finished within just 7 points of actual software engineers on coding tasks.
Wait, how does understanding legal arguments translate into writing functional software architecture? That doesn't seem to compute.
It comes down to logic. A legal contract is basically a program. It relies on strict definitions and logical flow. So when a lawyer uses an AI agent, they just take that same logical rigor and ask the model to translate it into code. The true value of an AI agent is capped by how well you understand the goal, not the model's inherent power.
That is incredibly empowering for anyone listening who isn't a programmer. Now let's take a look at everything else happening in AI today.
I will start with Apple. Tim Cook told the Wall Street Journal that iPhone and Mac prices may rise soon because component costs have actually quadrupled due to AI memory chip demands.
Quadruple. That's going to hit the consumer hard.
It is. Tech Insights notes, Apple needs a $270 margin bump per device, meaning the iPhone 18 Pro could hit $1,299. Over at Meta, a new AI mode search tab is rolling out on Facebook. It's powered by the Muse Spark model and pulls from public info.
I feel like Meta's constantly pushing out new models.
They are, but internally, CTO Andrew Bosworth reports employee morale is at a 20-year low following layoffs and restructuring. Meanwhile, Google has opened pre-orders for the Gemini-powered Google Home speaker. It ships later this month and features much better multi-step commands. This is Google's first major speaker since 2020.
Wow, it's been that long.
6 years. Now, on the international front, Dario Amodei and Demis Hassabis proposed a U.S.-led AI coalition at the G7 for international cooperation on chip exports, model access, and safety.
Tying right back into that Anthropic standoff.
Exactly. And looking at the financials, the information reports OpenAI had an incredible $3.7 billion first quarter cash burn against $5.7 billion in 2026 revenue. Both of those numbers tripled year over year.
That scale of capital is just, it's hard to even comprehend.
It's massive. Over in hardware, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang told the AP that the AI age demands, quote, new social norms. He actually compared the AI transition to how the invention of cars forced society to invent crosswalks and sidewalks.
I love that analogy.
It's very fitting. Finally, 2 quick hits. Odyssey raised $310 million at a $1.45 billion valuation to build general AI world models that simulate real-time physics and human behavior. And ByteDance just released Cadence 2.0 Mini, a lower-cost variant of their powerful AI video model.
I want to go back to Jensen Huang's crosswalk analogy for a second.
Yeah.
Because that perfectly captures how infrastructure always has to play catch-up with revolutionary technology.
It really does.
Like you just mentioned, Apple's hardware price hikes to accommodate new AI memory needs. That is the digital equivalent of paving a new road. We have to rebuild the physical hardware to handle the new intelligence.
That is a great way to look at it.
And speaking of new intelligence, let's look at today's trending AI tools. We have a lot of them, and I'll walk through the practical use cases. Let's start with Grok. Imagine 1.5. This is xAI's new image-to-video model. The use case here is instantly generating dynamic B-roll for marketing campaigns without needing a massive budget.
Oh, that saves so much time.
So much time. Next is Exa Agent, a frontier-level web research API. If you need to automate deep-dive competitor analysis without constantly hitting rate limits, this is the tool. Then we have Eve, which is Vercel's open-source framework.
For developers, right?
Yes, it turns your local file directory into an agent so you can literally chat directly with your codebase to hunt down bugs. On the privacy side, ZAI released GLM 5.2. It's a powerful open weights model, so you can run a top-tier AI locally on your own hardware for strict data privacy.
Crucial for enterprise users.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, if your enterprise knows it needs AI but doesn't know where to start, there is Waybound. It's tailored AI strategy design, basically hiring an automated consultant. For smaller creators, Durable is an AI website builder that spins up a professional landing page for a new side hustle in just 30 seconds.
30 seconds is insanely fast.
It does the whole thing. And once that site is up, you can use Subscription Flow. It's an intelligent conversation tool that turns casual website lurkers into paying customers through automated chat.
So no more clunky FAQ bots.
Exactly. Now, for market research, there's Idea Ape. It analyzes raw, unfiltered consumer opinions on Reddit to help validate your brand strategy. And finally, Caddy, This is a real-time sales assistant that silently joins active sales calls to feed reps instant answers to tricky prospect questions.
When you look at that entire list, it perfectly reflects the Claude Code study we talked about earlier.
So,
Well, these tools range from beginner-friendly website builders like Durable, all the way to highly technical coding frameworks like Eve. It proves that no matter what your domain expertise is, there is now a dedicated agent ready to amplify your specific skill set.
that is the big takeaway here. The technology is moving faster than the public trust, and the macro geopolitical stakes are massive. But on an individual level, the barrier to entry is no longer your coding ability. It is simply having the vision to know what you want to build.
I completely agree. Make sure to follow and share this deep dive with someone who needs to stay ahead of the AI curve.
See you in the next episode.